I'm Katheryn Spann, and Dave Krabbe and I co-own Prodigal Farm in Rougemont, North Carolina. Prodigal Farm is a farmstead goat cheese dairy, and in addition to doing artisanal cheeses, we also raise goats for meat. I was for many years living in and practicing law in New York City, and that is where I met my honey Dave, who was working as a very high-end residential general contractor. Dave and I made a decision that we were going to hit the eject button. At that point, the only thing that we knew was that we were planning to buy some farmland back down here. We moved down here and experimented for about a year with some different animals and getting a sense of what we really liked working with the most. And along the way, though it was definitely not the original plan, we fell in love with goats. From the beginning of having this farm, we have rotationally grazed our dairy goats. It's a pretty uncommon practice because the goats have pretty high shelter requirements. We rotationally graze our goats for the benefit of the goats and for the benefit of our fields. For the goats, it keeps them eating forage that's high off the ground and not close to parasites. The rotational grazing also helps our fields by keeping pressure down on them, and it makes for better soil conservation and water conservation. One of the challenges of rotational grazing was our need for a shelter that could move with the animals. After experimenting with sheds that can become too heavy as your herd grows and you need a bigger shed, we wound up settling upon the idea of using a school bus, which has nice soft wheels, is not going to dig up your pastures, and can provide double-decker shelter. The goats run right ahead into the next paddock, and we turn the key on the school bus, and it goes right after, and their shelter has just moved in 3 minutes. Folks are starting to realize that buying organic does not necessarily ensure that people are in fact getting a product that came to them through practices that are what the consumer is seeking. The AWA label, more than any of the other humane certification labels, has a really solid reputation for being exactly what it purports to be. We went with AWA first because it has an educational component. It can help bring information to us, but it helps us bring information to the world by providing a label that has a strong and progressively growing reputation for integrity. They audit us every 11 months. You don't get a lot of notice. We actually had an auditor here auditing the auditor. And that sort of integrity is something that increasingly means something to consumers out there. The auditing system ensures integrity on the part of the farmer, and the label ensures that the consumer can have integrity in the product that they're purchasing and in the ethical decisions that they're really trying to make. Our years of farming have taught us that if you take care and follow the nature of the animals and the nature of the land, then the land and the animals will take care of you.